So, what I try to do with the supporters is that I try to highlight what their own specific take is on the world and what shapes their view of the world. And the way that I know you mostly is that you have a lot of I don't know, design and or like media kind of talents. Is that fair to say that that's one of your larger identity
Yeah,
points? Is
yeah.
that you're a media person?
Yeah, I work in design. I've worked in marketing for a while and do a little bit of this and that. A lot of graphic design.
Um, what did you work for? Just mostly corporate stuff.
Mhm. Mhm.
So one of the things that gets brought up in a lot of the Facebook groups that I'm in
Mhm.
is the whole topic of the Ramones being a T-shirt band and people like Kanye West or like some model wearing a Ramones shirt, and some of these people that just get way bent out of shape about it.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna get more to the design thing, but it's just like the fact that the Ramones are a T-shirt band means that their design aesthetic is above most other bands as far as branding is concerned.
Mhm.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Um, so, when do you first remember seeing pictures of the Ramones?
It's hard to say, like, because they're present everywhere.
Okay, well,
So they're kind of just like their music is in the background, like their imagery is in the background, but
well, I guess I should
it's like
reform
right
the
there, but
question.
it's not as
When you noticed the
mm,
Ramones, what did you notice about the Ramones?
the uniform,
Okay.
the Ramones uniform, the same haircut, jackets, jeans,
They didn't necessarily have the same haircut. I mean,
the bangs.
Johnny and Dee Dee did.
Yeah.
And I always wondered if Joey didn't have it just because his hair wouldn't grow like that.
Yeah.
It just seems like because I had, there's a picture of me in the 10th grade and I've got the fucking Johnny Ramone bowl cut because my hair is straight.
Mhm.
But yeah, I always wondered that about Joey and Tommy is like, did their hair just not grow forward like that very well into bangs? But yeah,
Oh,
the
the
uniform.
bangs.
But what?
Said, oh, the bangs.
What? Okay, talk about the bangs.
Oh, the bangs. No,
What about the bangs?
bangs are just a lot. Yeah.
You don't see a lot of guys with bangs anymore.
You don't see a lot of guys with bangs. No, no, not so much. Not so much.
Why do you think that is?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
But okay, so I went to the Ramones from Kiss,
Oh, wow.
and it was kind of like an inversion,
Yeah.
but it was the exact same thing to me, which was a uniform
Mm-hmm.
with slightly different variants. Like, obviously, Kiss had if you look at it just from, you don't compare the two to each other, you just compare them to each other within the group. Kiss didn't look any different from each other than the Ramones looked from each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that Kiss, one guy was a cat and one guy had a star,
Right.
and all this, and those were very obvious things.
Mm-hmm.
But Dee Dee had a little bit of a different haircut than Johnny did,
True
and
story.
Johnny had a meaner face, and Dee Dee was cuter, and Joey was 7 foot tall, and all that other stuff. And they wore different leather jackets.
Yeah.
They'd wear different shirts and stuff like that. So what you had
Variation
was
on a theme.
yeah, you had
Right.
the group identity,
Mm-hmm.
but you had the individual people, and that's, I think, one of the biggest important things that you can do. For instance, I mean, obviously the Bay City Rollers aren't an American band. If they were, we might know more about them, but not only could I not tell you any of their names, I couldn't tell you who played what, you know, or any of that stuff, because they didn't really assert their individual identities. You know,
Yeah.
they had the shag hair, and they, you know, I'm sure to a Bay City Rollers fan, all of that is you know, that's their thing. But to even the casual Ramones fan, you notice that stuff, and you understand the difference between Joey and Johnny.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. So yeah,
Variety
logos
within the uniformity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So logos and general promotional stuff. Let's hear your take on their promotional.
I think probably like you would see that. Probably the first time I saw it, you remember Hot Topic became a thing. I don't know when they exactly opened, but that was where everybody who, you know, grew up in, I guess, sort of suburbia went for their punk supplies. So you'd always see the logo. You know, you'd always see the T-shirt, the poster. But yeah, so.
I think the logo design, the presidential seal.
Yep.
This is kind of a weird topic, but when I was in junior high, I actually did a history report on the swastika.
Oh, yeah.
And I went to wood shop, and I showed my Coach Rowe, who was missing part of his finger. I said, Coach Rowe, I'm going to make a swastika out of wood, but I want you to read this report before I do it. And what I learned about the swastika is that it generates motion.
Yeah.
Especially with what the Nazis did, putting it on its side. What it does is your mind wants to make that thing spin. So, with the Ramones presidential seal, what you have is a circular design where you find yourself reading the names clockwise, and the next thing you know, you've convinced yourself that logo is spinning.
Crazy. I could see that.
And that's why so many people have... this is just my opinion. From my junior high history report on the swastika, this is my expert opinion on why the Ramones logo is so effective.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
It draws you into the center. Yeah. With the names being around, the circle. Draws you into the center icon.
They all have E. The E syllable, not syllable. The E vowel.
Yeah.
Even if it's a Y.
Yeah.
You know, marquee.
Joey.
Yeah. So that design.
Yeah.
And then just the Ramones block letters. Once again, going back to Kiss.
The letters are
block
solid.
Letters.
Yeah.
Block letters.
Love
it's
it.
like everybody did their logos in block letters after that.
Yeah, by the time it came around, it was so present. Like it was like one of those things so present you almost didn't notice it.
Well.
And that's why I think like a lot of people that don't necessarily know their music is wear their shirts or wear their merch at all. Or because...
I just had an epiphany.
What?
The Ramones influenced memes.
Yeah?
Because the font that you use to make the Ramones block letters.
Impact is the meme font.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
You beat me to the punch there. Think about that.
Solid, legible block letters can be read from a distance. Read at small sizes.
You heard it first here, folks. The Ramones invented the meme. So who's your favorite Ramone?
I think my favorite Ramone would be Dee Dee.
Why is that?
Because Dee Dee is an incredible songwriter, quite a character, and I just kind of like him.
So when you think of Dee Dee, do you think of screaming, tattooed, emaciated, getting busted in the park Dee Dee?
Yeah.
Or do you think of salad bowl cut Dee Dee?
Yeah, I mean, a little both. A little,
See, Dee Dee's,
he's the best. I mean,
he's the salad bowl
he
cut
went
guy.
out and he was like, you know what? I'm gonna do the Dee Dee King thing. I'm gonna try it. And then he was like, you know what? That was not for me, and I wasn't any good at it. And I'm like, that's cool, because you tried it. You tried something different.
So
he's wacky. He seems to be the most eccentric and unpredictable, and I like that about him.
as a straight man, I thought he was the cutest.
He is the cutest,
Ramone,
yeah.
When he was salad bowl cut Dee Dee,
salad bowl,
but drug
yeah.
worn Dee Dee. What do females think of how attractive drug worn out Dee Dee looks? Does he look attractive?
He looks like somebody I'd be a little concerned for,
But he's still attractive.
Yeah, a little bit.
Kind of like
like
women
Iggy
that
Pop.
are I was going right there too.
Yeah.
Iggy Pop.
Yeah.
But that's the whole thing. Is
He's
like
never not been attractive though.
There are
Iggy
women rock people.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say that.
Women
that
rock people?
Like Chrissy Hynde.
Rock people.
Chrissy Hynde is not really that considered to be, judged on her looks, but I think she's hot as hell because Chrissy Hynde was a
presentation.
Punk.
Yeah.
She paid her dues,
Patty
and
Smith.
she's hot as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially now, Patty Smith.
Yeah,
oh,
Patty
by the way,
Smith is great.
Emmylou Harris right now.
Really?
Silver Fox Emmylou Harris.
I haven't seen.
But yeah, that's the whole thing. Is like I always thought that, from at least a straight man's perspective, that Dee Dee was supposed to be the best looking.
He's a cutie.
But
I like him because he's a little wacky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then obviously.
And he's a bass player.
Okay, tell me about that.
Bass player, bass is best instrument.
Why is that?
Because it's an instrument that makes all the girls dance. It's an instrument that makes everybody dance.
So as a drummer, I'm really offended
by
that statement.
I knew you would be. I knew you would be. So like, as a non-musician, somebody that I don't know anything. I don't know anything about music. I roughly know how it functions. So like, to me, the drums, they provide the structure. They provide the structure. They provide everything on which the song is built. And by extension, everything on which the band is built. But then you add the bass line, which so I used to be a swing dancer. I used to do Lindy Hop. So you could get your footwork from the drums, but you would get the groove from the bass line. And that's what I always listen to, is those two instruments. The rest of it, I'm like, oh, that's nice to have, but these are the two things that you gotta have, or you don't have a song, in my opinion, as a non-musician.
I am busting your chops about that, but from my perspective, the bass is the melodic personification of the drum part.
Yeah.
However, what's interesting in the Ramones is that the drums are more tied to the guitar in the Ramones than they are to the bass. In fact, a lot of people just assume that the bass parts are exactly following the guitar parts. Like, you start on the 5th fret, and then you go on E 5th fret, and then you go A 5th fret, and then you go up one, and blah, blah, blah. But what I found out, especially listening to the very first Ramones album, because it's separated and you can hear the bass by itself, the bass parts are usually inversions.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, Beat on the Brat, the guitar part is but the bass part is so they
kind of
so they
counterbalance each
but
other.
You don't hear that.
No.
Because your mind just tricks yourself into thinking it's all just two
uniform
guys playing the exact same part
Yeah.
on two different instruments, but
Yeah.
it's not.
It's not.
So I do have a lot of respect for the bass, and no, I'm not really pissed off about the drummer thing.
It's my favorite instrument. And I did used to play drums a little.
Mm-hmm.
Did used to play a little guitar badly. But I've arrived at bass is
The
best.
bass is best. So second, I'm guessing Joey is second.
Yeah.
Because he's the poetic.
Yeah. I have a definite soft spot in my heart for Joey.
And
as
why
does
is
my
that?
husband.
Why is that?
He's authentic, he was a real person. He's approachable, he had he wasn't what you would think of as like a rock star. He was a real person.
Did David ever meet Joey?
No, but he pretty much he loves Joey.
Uh-huh.
He didn't ever get to meet him. I don't know if he's ever even been able to see the Ramones live.
Huh.
No, I
That
don't.
surprises me.
I don't know. He might have. He might
Because-
listen to this and be like, I've told you that 15 times.
We've probably been to the same Ramone shows.
Forgot it 15 times.
Yeah, my first Ramone show was 1985 at the
Yeah.
Arcadia. By the way, I cried when that place
Yeah.
burnt down. I literally cried because I
Where's
lived
the
in the
Arcadia?
neighborhood. The Arcadia was on Lower Greenville, where that Trader Joe's is now.
Oh my God.
And I saw my first Ramones concert there, and I lived in the neighborhood.
Wow.
And somebody was like, hey, dude, the Arcadia's burning down. I went over there and watched it burn down, and I cried because
That's
the
terrible.
Ramones-
So many.
the Ramones burned down.
Ah.
Anyway, so blah, blah,
I kind of feel that way about all of Lower Greenville
blah.
and all of Deep Ellum.
My thing is, doing all of the research I've been trying to do, about the pop culture stuff, and I'm in like 29 different Ramones Facebook groups.
Yeah.
A lot of girls like Joey.
A lot of girls like Joey.
Way more girls like Joey than I ever thought.
Yeah.
And, I mean...
He's got that sort of like quiet loner sort of mystique.
he seems like he would
Yeah.
be the most intellectual.
Yeah. Yeah. Could see that for sure.
I do that song, I Want You Around.
Yeah.
The one that appears in Rock and Roll High School when he sings the Riff
Yeah.
Randall. I do that instead of Boyfriend.
Yeah.
And my stage rap on that is, I've actually read Ramones fan fiction.
There's Ramones fan fiction?
There's Ramones fan fiction out there.
Oh boy.
And here's the pattern. But I've never seen a Tommy Ramones fanfic, but it's they want Johnny to be mean to them.
Yeah, I could see that.
And then when they have their sex with their, Ramones
oh my God.
like dude,
Oh my God.
Johnny's mean to him afterwards.
Oh my God.
Then there's the ones that I've read where Dee Dee is mean to him. Then they have the Ramone sex, and then Dee Dee's sweet to him. But then it's a lot of stuff that I've read is I was having a horrible time, and Joey came over and we talked for 3 hours, and then he asked me if he could kiss me, and then we woke up in each other's arms.
Talking for 3 hours sounds like a lot of wishful thinking.
I know, but you know what I'm saying? It's just like they want Johnny to be the mean dude. They want Dee Dee to be the mean dude with the heart of gold. But they want Joey to be their, friend and confidant, and he'll hold you while you cry. And I'm not just saying that's the way fan fiction is. I'm not saying women
where
are like
does
that.
Marky fit in?
I've never seen a Marky fanfic, and I've never seen a Tommy fanfic.
Tommy fan.
Hello, I'm Marky
I
Ramone.
didn't know.
We're going to have sex.
I didn't know that fanfic was a thing with music. I thought that was just
fanfic goes
for
everywhere.
like Game of Thrones or whatever.
Shit, they've got Walking Dead fanfic with Shane and Rick.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Brokeback Mountain.
That's like its
type
own separate genre of fanfic.
But that's the thing is like, if
Wow.
you think, oh my God, I just had another.
Fanfic has got something for everybody.
I just had another revelation.
What is this?
Rock and Roll High School.
Yeah.
The scene with Riff Randall and Joey Ramone.
Yeah.
The very first fanfic.
The very first fanfic.
First meme.
First meme.
First fanfic.
Oh my gosh.
Riff Randall fantasizing about Joey Ramone appearing in
God.
her bedroom.
Yeah. It's probably where it all started. It's right there.